Well, Michael Beer is the director of Nonviolence International. He joins me now from Washington, D.C. Great to have you on the program now. Just for our viewers, explain where you are. I understand that you are with students in central Washington, D.C. Why is that, and what's going on behind you? What is the protest exactly?
I am here in Washington, D.C. on the campus of George Washington University, very close to the White House. The students here, I believe last Friday, set up an encampment following that happened in Columbia and a few other universities, and got enormous public support here. And they've stayed here over the last number of days, even though they've been at times pressured to move out by the police, at least the campus police. And last night there was an altercation, and the students have now taken over the entire yard here. This is a part of something that's been happening all over the United States and even around the world.
Indeed, Michael, and we've been reporting that these rallies, protests have now spread to at least 50 other campuses around the world. And just what exactly are the demands of the students there where you are? Is it for the university to divest from Israel? Is it a ceasefire? What are the specific demands?
Yes, the demands are for the university to divest its investments, and it has enormous investments in Israeli companies and companies that help Israel engage in this unfolding genocide and attacks on Palestine. And they're also calling for transparency about their investments. They're also calling for the university to make a statement against scholasticide, which is the new term that's been invented to describe what Israel has done to all of the universities and centers of higher learning in Gaza, in which they've all been destroyed and many professors and students killed. And they want a statement from the university about condemning scholasticide and reparations because of this university's complicity in what's going on in Gaza and Palestine. You have to understand, this university is one of the premier universities providing the foreign policy establishment with its young people to be trained here to go and serve the interests of the United States.
And just for our international viewers, just explain, so this is George Washington University. It is very close to the White House. Our correspondent Selena Downs is on the other side, outside. We were just speaking to her. How symbolic, how important is it for this protest to be there? And is it resonating? What's the impact that it's having on the decision makers there close by in the White House, if any at all?
Well, it's hard to see much change in terms of decision makers at this time, but clearly the decision makers are increasingly divided because in this situation here, the campus police and the university wanted people kicked off, but the city police from Washington, D.C. refused to cooperate and refused to come and clear the protesters. And so it's a sign that there is conflict between the elites here about Palestinian policy and, of course, of the rights of free speech. What you see behind me are barricades that were removed last night by the students because they had been fenced in these barricades. They've created a sculpture out of these barricades to make an artistic statement about ending all siege, ending all fencing off of protest, and, of course, the siege of Gaza.
Michael, thank you so much for speaking to us. Michael Beer is a director of Nonviolence International, and he's there at in the garden, as you call it, in the US, the yard of George Washington University.